Good morning, adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. I have been super busy getting ready to hit the road, and I've got a lot of work to do. I have been trying to fix some things in the van. I have been trying to change out some items, and I've been trying to prepare for my travels, and there's a few things that I have been just kind of thinking about before heading out. Now, on this particular set of travels, I'm going to be trying out some new items, like my new refrigerator and my new power stations and things like that. And so I'm very excited to do that. However, with that, there's a lot of anticipation of, okay, I got to prepare for not only trying out those things, but also changing my van out for the season that I'm traveling in. And because it's going to be cooler, that takes some work. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get to work and start on pre-cooking some of my items that I'm going to put in my freezer. Like I'm going to do some cornbreads and then some other dishes that I can just easily put in one of two devices, either the Road Pro, which you guys have seen me with, or I picked up this Hot Logic. Now, hear me out on this one. As you guys know, I try out a lot of different things on the channel, and I kind of show you how they work and if they might work for you. It can give you an idea of how many watts they pull and also what their capabilities are. I've been using the Road Pro for a very long time and I really love it. However, someone asked me why I selected the Road Pro over the Hot Logic because they were interested in the Hot Logic. And so I'm going to get this one out and I'm going to show you all the things that it can do with heating things up and stuff like that. And then whenever I get back to my base camp, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of the Road Pro versus the Hot Logic. So on this trip, I'm going to be using kind of both of them to figure out what works best in what scenarios, some timing differences and things like that. So this is going to be really fun, but also it's going to give me a reason to try out something new. I love that. With that said, I've got to figure out where I'm going to put it, so I've got to move some things around, but that's okay. I've got some time, so I'm going to be doing that, and over the next couple of days, I'm going to be fully packing up the van. So now on to the cooking. Okay, these look nice. They're cooling currently. I wanted to do 2 little cornbreads. I'm going to be freezing these in these little containers that work well for my Road Pro, but I think they'll also work in the Hot Logic, so we're going to find out. But I know one difference between the Road Pro and the Hot Logic is the Road Pro gets to temperature where I could bake cornbread, but it wouldn't have this like golden crust on the top. It would just be like basically the color of the cracks here, but the Hot Logic can't bake things. So that's why I wanted to kind of do this in advance so I can have a warming option, so it would be more of a fair comparison on the time that it takes to heat. I'm also going to be making some breakfast burritos that I can just wrap up. Now, if you followed my entire trip whenever I was going up to Montana and back, I was stopping off at the Dollar Tree and picking up these little breakfast sandwiches and things like that, which were great. But now that I'm at my base camp, I can make all of those kind of in advance. And so I can have options to just throw in and then hit the road. And that's going to be really nice, especially considering I'm going to be pretty busy on this trip. So I want to limit having to go to the store and refresh all the time. So I'm going to fill this thing up as much as I possibly can when it comes to my freezer section so that I can already have those things together. And yes, I can also do this at camp, but if I'm not on the road yet, I might as well take advantage of the fact that I have a full kitchen. So I'm going to be making some breakfast burritos, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But first, I need to get on to my next task. And that's clothes. Since it is a colder season now, I took out the shorts and I'm putting in nicer looking pants and different kinds of things. This is my jacket with one of my beanies. This is my tan set. I have a couple of different nicer pairs of jean pants. I have some nice joggers that are thinner. I love these little sets that you can get from Walmart. They're just warm-up suits. They have a sweatshirt and pants that match. I have several colors of these that I've used over the last 2 seasons, and they're so comfortable. I have some different sweaters that have textures that I can layer with t-shirts and wear with jeans. And then I have these 2 things which a company sent me to try out, so I'm going to show you what those are real quick. And then I've got a couple more things I need to add to this. Now, the interesting thing about when I'm traveling is the temperature swing is pretty interesting throughout the day and into the evening. So I want to take things that I can layer or that I can remove a layer, or also that I can wear that are very comfortable and cozy, or that I can have a short sleeve on. So I'll still be taking regular leggings and regular t-shirts as always, but I wanted to have some things that I could put together that would allow me some different layering options, because I don't know what it's going to be like when I'm on this trip. Last time I took a trip to this area around this time, it was like 25 degrees and it was cold. And the weather hasn't been quite that yet, so I'm thinking it's not going to be quite as cold yet. However, if we do have one of those rogue days where it is, I don't want to be ill-prepared. So with that said, I'm also taking a heating blanket, and I'll probably take one of my little plug-and-play heaters and just put it into the van. And if I need it, I can pull it out, and if I don't, that's okay. So inside this little package, these are some of their newer items that they're stocking on their Amazon store. And oh my goodness, the tape they use is really good. So I'm just going to rip into the plastic. And one of these should be a sun shirt and the other one should be a zip down. Sure enough. Woohoo! Yes, this is going to be nice. This is going to be nice. So what I was thinking is, because I like everything to have more than one function, that this sun shirt would also be a nice layerable option with this sweater. And a sun shirt protects your arms and your body from the exterior sun so that you don't end up getting burned or anything. It's a nice lightweight material, so this could be a nice breathable option to put under a sweater. If I want something that's a mid-level warmth, this is going to be very nice. Again, KP Sun. I need to remove the tags and wash these up and everything. But then this one that I've kind of got balled up here, this is actually a zip down. And so I can wear this on my hikes, and I believe it has, yes, the little thumb holes to hold it in place. And then it also has a hood on here. So this will be a nice outdoor shirt that I can wear. And I may end up hanging this up on my jacket wall because it's a nice grab and go. So I think this is going to be good. Again, it has the little finger holes, and then it has a really nice oversized hood that I can put on that I could also wear with a beanie. I wanted to get something that had a little bit more room because whenever I wear a beanie, it's pretty thick. And so this will provide me with something that's easy to remove, but then also it has the zipper so I can let it air out a little bit if I get too warm. This is small enough where the material is not going to be so bulky that I can't tie it around my waist if I decide to take it off. And it is the sun protected. It has a nice pocket in the front, so that's good. So I was kind of thinking that this could go in my daily wear stuff as just like a nice thing to start out my day with, because it gives me just a little bit of something without too much. So if I go on a hike and it's cool in the morning, but as it progresses in the day, it gets warmer, I can remove this. And it's also small enough where I could just roll it up and put it in my Murphy bag and it would actually fit. So I think this is going to be good. Again, this is KP Sun. I'm going to leave a link below if you're interested in sun shirts, because you know, I think that we should all have at least a couple. I have a couple from Mountain House that I normally take with me, but I'm going to take this one instead on this time, just to kind of see how it compares. So, yeah, should be interesting. So I'm going to be spending the next 20 or so minutes picking out what outfits I would like to put together for the weather and stuff like that. And so that's going to be something that's kind of fun. I have a lot of other things that I need to do also, though. I just bought a bunch of stuff to restock my van, and also I have something to solve one of my biggest problems, and it was thanks to you guys. You guys remember that I was driving around and I just kept getting this red mark on my neck right here from my seatbelt. It doesn't matter if I adjust it up or down, it just kind of cuts into my neck no matter what. So someone suggested I get a seatbelt cover. And I had several of you send me several different links. This one was customizable, so I thought I'd check it out. It was only like $8. So, this is really nice. It just has this piece of Velcro on it that opens up, and then you slide it around your seatbelt, and then you Velcro it back, and then it sits like right here, and like, this does not hurt my neck. This is nice. It's soft, it's thick, and it doesn't have just like that little blade. And even though my neck gets red just because that's me, it doesn't actually hurt now, so I'm happy about that. Not to mention, I could monogram it, and so I put Live Life Fully on there because that's my motto here on the channel. That's why I do the work that I do, is because I hope to encourage you guys to get out there and live life more fully. I also thought it would be really weird to have my seatbelt coming down and it say like bunny, because imagine stopping at a stoplight. Bunny. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. So instead we have something very uplifting that is on brand And again, it was like $8 and took me like 2 weeks to get here. Of course, I have my Restocks, more baby wipes. We only use the Tiggers here because they're nice and they don't get peely. And then I have some more hot hands, which I'm actually probably going to get one more of these because I usually put these in my hoodie pocket at night whenever it's cold and it keeps my entire body warm. So I've got to put these away in the van also, but again, probably going to buy one more of these. I also restocked my toilet stuff that I use. I use this urine solid gel. Normally, whenever I use my toilet, I just have the little pop-up toilet. So I pop it up, I sprinkle like a little sprinkle of this inside, and then I put a piece of toilet paper in there, and then you can use the restroom, and then you don't have any weirdness with any kind of liquids, but also this reduces smells. So it's nice, and then I can bag it and dispose of it. But I'll leave links to all these things so that you guys can get to them if they're things that you're interested in. Never feel pressured. What works for me and stuff like this may not work for you guys, and it depends on your system and also how you have everything set up. There's all sorts of solutions on the internet. I implore you to look at all of them if you're just starting out, but this is something that works for me. So again, I'll leave a link for it. That said, inside this bag, I have some new sunglasses that I'm going to be taking with me because I needed to replace some that I broke. And so I'm going to be matching everything accordingly. These were actually from Temu, not Dollar General, which is where this bag's from. But I need to figure out what goes with what I'm going to be taking with me, and I need to put them all in cases. So I'm going to be doing that, and then I'm going to start on the burritos. I'll show you what the burritos look like, but we'll catch up in a minute. Woo! Off to work I go. The burritos are going to be good though, and I have kind of a little bit of a different recipe that I want to try out, putting them together, so that'll be fun. But first, I have to load some things up. Okay, so what I'm thinking for my breakfast burritos is I have these garden spinach herb wraps, which are larger. I'm going to do some thick cut bacon, which I am going to cook in the oven so it's nice and good. And then I'm going to use these green chilies along with a little bit of picante. I have like a medium picante. I have some pepper jack cheese, some egg whites, and then a little bit of milk that I'm going to put into the eggs to make sure they're nice and fluffy. So I just need to start this process. I'm going to get it all going, and then before long, I'll have some burritos that I can wrap up in some foil, and then I'll just be able to throw them into either the Hot Logic or into the Road Pro. The bacon is done. Now it's time to assemble the rest of the burritos. My filling is almost finished. I have green chilies, picante, a little bit of the cheese. I have my egg whites and my bacon, and I'm just cooking it down just a little bit more so everything can really absorb those flavors. And then I'm going to roll up my burritos, put a little bit of extra cheese in there, just a little bit, and it should be perfect. Okay, I was able to make 3 nice big burritos, but the problem is my tortillas, even though I just purchased them at the store, just were not great. So I can only do 3 because the rest of the tortillas basically tore apart. So I'm going to go ahead and freeze these. I'm going to put the rest of this up, and then I'm going to have this for breakfast tomorrow and possibly the next day. Okay, I've been putting things together. I have basically the outfits that I'm ready to take. I've already taken my my mountain house off the roof and restocked it. And now I'm doing the thing that I've been dreading the most. I'm cutting down my old lights. I don't know if I'm going to get to replace all of them. I've already put up these, which I really like. And I did that when I was in Colorado. It worked out well. But I would like to get some longer ones. So I'm going to look at the store to see if they have a longer set of these. And if they do, I will take these down and I'll put up a new set. And then I'll just use these in my base camp. If they don't, I'll just rock with these for a little while. I have plenty of light. It just, in the front section, it's a little bit darker because the lights don't stretch all the way to the front. So, I don't know. I'm not upset if I don't replace them on this particular trip, but The van looks crazy right now. Just for reference, this is what it looks like. So I have leggings, which I'm going to be keeping in the van. I have some other pants that I'm going to be keeping in the van. These things need to go inside. I need to wash this sweater. These go back in their spot in just a few minutes. I have restocked this pillow with an additional blanket in it. I have this pillow where I'm actually going to be putting some more pants in it. I have all of my stuff for my laundry that I just need to put in its proper bag. I took down the black sweater from here. It's going to be going back, but I'm going to be bringing out a couple other layers that can be on here too. This is pretty thin, so I always usually have something thicker on top of it. The bigger sweater goes in the middle. And then this one, I could put another thin thing on, kind of like this. So I'm probably going to put my black sun shirt there. It's just an easier way for me to be able to grab and go. And so that's kind of where we're at. Again, cutting down these lights is kind of a pain just because, yeah, they're just kind of woven in here. So I've just kind of been cutting them because they're no good anymore. They're messed up. So that's fine. I did get my other patches hung up, so that's good. And then this section up here, I've just kind of been throwing things forward that are going to be going in or needing to be restocked. And I'm going to be putting my new fridge in there pretty quickly. I need to make sure I have everything that goes up there though. So I think I'm in a good place. I also still have to change out my power stations, so I was debating on what I wanted to keep and what I wanted to take out. I usually do a big kind of reset whenever I come back and I start traveling for winter, so yeah. I always have a dry bag that goes up on the roof with my fancy clothes, so to speak, but realistically, because it's going to be super cold, I need to make sure that some of the things I previously had in that bag go into the van, sweater-wise, so that's why I'm leaving space here. I'm also going to be bringing some sweats along, some like jogger suits like that green one. So I have to figure out where to put those. Changing out my cooling blanket for my heating blanket. And then I already have my little heater packed and it's in its little special hiding spot. I do need to restock my baby wipes that go under there though. So what I'll probably do is after I finish all of this, I'll make my bed out and then I'll stock that. And that makes it just so much easier for me to put things away. It's just so much easier. So overall, things are coming along. I also made one other dish. I made a buffalo mac and cheese that I can put into the freezer. So I made those in special pans that will work with the Hot Logic. I'm excited. I'm super excited. So I have breakfast burritos, I have cornbread, and then I have the lasagna that I made with my Instapot that I froze some of, and now I have buffalo mac and cheese. So all of those are great. I also picked up some of the little chicken patty Jamaican jerk things that I like that I found, and those are super easy to just throw into the Road Pro or the Hot Logic. Or I can throw them into the air fryer. So I have to figure out where to put my Instapot though. Oh no! So that's the biggest thing that I'm struggle busting with right now. But I think it's coming together. Even though it looks like chaos, at least I have assessed everything and I know kind of what I need to do. Now it's just a matter of me doing it.